Hi, boys and girls. Another day of poetry, and I have another thing that I want to teach you about what poets do when they're writing. And one thing that poets really think about is patterns. Patterns. We know patterns. Sometimes we see them in math, we see patterns. Sometimes we see them in nature, we see patterns where we have something that repeats over and over and over again. So, poets do think a lot about patterns because sometimes patterns give their poem music. And we know that as poets, having music or rhythm in your poem is really important. It's one of the things that makes your poem a poem, right? You want that poem to sound like a fish swimming. We talked about that a lot. So today, our goal is I can repeat words, lines, sounds, and images to give my poems rhythm, sound, and music, and to bring out the meaning. So I'm going to show you a poem I have here, and it is a poem that does repeat words, lines, and sounds. And I'm going to show you how that gives the poem meaning and how it gives it rhythm or music. So this poem is called Go Wind by Lillian Moore, and I'm going to read it to you, and we're going to kind of look at how this author repeated certain things to show meaning and to show kind of how certain things are important and to give this poem music, right? So this is the poem. I'll read it to you. Go wind, blow. Push wind, swoosh. Shake things, take things, make things fly. Ring things, swing things, fling things high. Go wind, blow. Push things, wee. No wind, no, not me, not me. So that poem really does have a lot of music. And one way I could tell that this author really made this music happen was because she repeated certain things. And I'm going to show you what she repeated. So obviously she repeated the word wind a lot, right? We have it here, we see it here, we see it here, okay? So she has the word wind. We also have the word things a few times. We see things, things. Here again, things, things, things. We also, another thing this poet did, which was really cool, was she didn't just repeat words, she repeated sounds too. And when I mean sounds, I mean she kind of has words that almost rhyme or sound very similar. So she has shake, take, make, okay? And then we have ring, swing, fling, right? Like those are all words that have similar sounds based on how they end. We have the AKE words and we have the ING words. So, and the last thing that she did a lot of repeating was this ending where she said, not me, not me. She repeated that phrase twice. So not only did she repeat words, she also repeated sounds and she repeated phrases, okay? So phrases meaning like more than one word. So the reason that this author did this was, one, to create music in her poem, right? We have shake things, take things, make things. So we definitely have that music, right? And the second reason she probably put meaning into, or put repeated words in her poem and made a pattern kind of, was because it shows extra meaning, okay? Just like kind of like the wind is moving always, always, always. That shows these sounds repeating, repeating, repeating. And certain things are worth repeating in this poem. For example, this poem is about the wind blowing, right? So the end phrase, not me, not me, that phrase is really important because, you know, it's telling her the wind, you know, you don't want the wind to blow me away, please. It shows kind of like, oh no, not me, not me. Like if you repeat a phrase twice, it must be really important, right? So when we use repetition a lot because we really want the reader to know that we mean what we're saying, right? So think about this today when you're using repetition or making a pattern in your poem, okay? Make it mean something, right? If something's really important in your poem, you might want to repeat it a few times just to make sure the reader really knows, like, oh my gosh, this author said not me twice. They must really not want to be blown away by this wind, okay? And the other thing you can do is to kind of repeat things, sounds and things to make that poem really sound like a song, okay? So let's take a look one more time in our Go Over today. Oop. I can repeat words, lines, sounds, and images to give my poems rhythm, sound, and music, and to bring out that meaning, okay? Good luck today, poets. Remember, think about those patterns. Really make your poem have that music and really make sure it means something, okay? Something important is happening here. Use repetition to tell us what it is.